life. That's from prenatal checkup, our immunization of pregnant and children, dietary supplementation programs for the target groups, our training of health and nutrition workers, provision of health and nutrition services, psychosocial stimulation, and provision of other assistance that each stakeholder may offer. It also clarifies the role of the national government agencies and partner LGUs as well as our development partners internationally. We at the National Nutrition Council recognize the crucial role of LGUs in ensuring that nutrition and related programs and projects are included, including our ECCD F1K, are integrated in the local development plan, and these plans are implemented down to the barangay level. More than that, our activity today is a show of force or our partnership towards reducing stunting and other forms of malnutrition among our children, pregnant women, and of course, lactating women. The convergence of both our efforts from the national and local government for the ECCD first 1,000 days, as well as the Philippine Plan of Action for Nutrition, is critical to achieve our targets. Again, reducing all forms of malnutrition in the 4 provinces here in Central Visayas and throughout the region and the country. This will strengthen further our coordination and convergence of programs between national government agencies, LGUs, and development partners. Because we all know that improving the nutrition situation cannot be achieved by the generosity of a single sector spoon. The solution requires collaborative efforts or contribution from the different spoons. Again, I'm challenging you, our partners, to be one of the spoons in your respective LGUs to achieve our nutrition outcome. Before I close, let me end my remarks by sharing with you the message of Pope Francis this Lenten season, published last February this year. No, the Pope asked the faithful to experience Lent with love and help others to realize the goodness of God amid trying times. The Pope calls on us to renew our faith, hope, and love for those who are greatly affected by the pandemic. According to him, love is a gift that gives meaning to our lives. It enables us to view those in need as members of our own family, as friends, as brothers or sisters, he concludes. So I hope we can all spread love this Lenten season out and throughout the year. So with that, thank you very much, and may we have a love-filled learning this afternoon, and have advanced blessed Lenten season to all of us. Thank you very much, and over to you, Miss Nas.
Thank you kayo, Ma'am Let, no? So that was very inspiring. We really need to do a lot, no, to reach our kanang nutrition targets and our goals. And kanang kuan commercial lang. A lot, we already have 97 participants in our kanang room right now, and there are a lot of people na coming in or are having hard time dealing with Zoom, no, na kanang application. If you can't come in the Zoom, we're having this we're doing this live also on our YouTube na kanang so please visit it at kanang kuan sa YouTube ang atong NNCR VII na account, and we're going to just share also diri ang link, no, para pod sa atong mga kauban na dili na makasulod sa ato ang kanang kuan sa atong Zoom na room. If you are in YouTube, you could also comment there na lang pod your questions. Our secretariat are there ma pod monitoring questions, comments, and so on. So there, no? So wala man gud mi nag-expect na grabe jud di ay kadaghan ang ganahang maka-appeal karon. And we're very happy to see a lot of you coming in. So there. On the next part, no, sa ato ang activity, dili jud ta maglangay kay I know that you are very very busy. So we're going to have pinakadamit, no, of this activity. Here to give you an overview of RA 1148. Plus, no, she will also be giving you kanang the interim nutritional guidelines for the kanang women of reproductive age. plus pa jud na pa jud plus no. She will be also giving you an overview of the assessment of nutritional status of pregnant women. No, so help me welcome Miss Julieta G. Tutor, nutritionist dietitian 4 of TOH ECHD. So Ma'am Joel.
Good afternoon, everyone.
And so we're waiting for your kanang kuan no PowerPoint
Klaro ra?
presentation.
Klaro
Clear na ka, Ma'am
Klaro
Joel.
ra ko nga pagaw. Okay, sorry ha. So, but before I will proceed to RE 1148, I would like to express my gratitude to NNC 7, especially Ma'am Let, for together with her angel to make for putting this into action, no? Kay murag ang kuan untaan ni namo is our sub-allot intended we propose this including in our outline activity for our sub-allotment, but unfortunately wala siya niabot. So to make it possible, so ang angel ni si Ma'am Let nagkuan ani no iyan ni kuan para gyud ni siya maatong makuan during the first quarter of the year regarding our RA 1148. So RA 1148, known as the Kalusugan sa Nutrisyon na Magnanay Act, is a response of the government to the stunting problem of our country, no? Okay. So mo ni siya mo ni ihanggi hatag, no, so that we can fight or we can fight although there are other forms of undernutrition, but ang pinakadako manggod nato nga problema is on stunting, no? Yeah, and we know already that doesn't happen overnight. So kinahanglan gyud siya o kana bitang kuan gyud siya nga a long range or multi-sectoral, daghan dapat siya ma-involve. Dili lang siya ingon nga usa ka sektor. Kaya this is a multi-sectoral na problema. Next slide, please. Okay, so siya maklaro. Pwede. Okay. Ma'am, pwede siya makuan, padakan. Pwede ang screen, ma'am. Paano hindi siya maklaro ang screen? Okay. Okay. Thank you. So actually, malnutrition problem is a decade problem, no? So sa dugay panahon, we had been suffering, murag wala ni siya kamatayon, no? Ang ato ang malnutrition problem. In these slides, although it's decreasing in terms of wasting and even our stunting, no? But as what Ma'am Let said a while ago, our goal for stunting to our target for 2020 is 21.4, no? So ang ato for sa 2018 it's on 30.3, no? So murag layo pa gyud ta sa ato ang target, no? Mao ni nga kini ang ato kani manggod siyang RE 1148 mas strengthen niya ang kani nga low mag-strengthen ni sa ato ang first 1,000 days, no? The program that actually the program inside the first 1,000 days has been there in our health system. Only one we have to put this integrated. Dili siya ingon nga katag kundi usagid ang ato ang goal para makuha nato mas holistic ang iyang dating. Next slide, please. So, stunting occurs early in life. So, in these slides, makita nato no nga as early as 0 to 5 months old, taas na ang prevalence nato sa stunting. It's 12%. So we can say that mabdus pa lang siya or napa siya sa tiyan sa mama, ang kuan ana niya is stunted na siya, no? Mo na siya ang ato ang so importante gyud ay kaayo ang nutritional status sa ato ang mga pregnant women kay it will affect the outcome of the pregnancy. Kay sa dinhi makita nimo nga ang bata wa pag siya mataw stunted na siya, no? Okay. So it is very important na you have to consider the health or the nutritional status of the pregnant women. So muna siya dinha ang at kay usually manggod mo ang atong focus muna kaana ragit ikataw na sa bata, no? Pero importante day kay siya even though wala pa nataw ang bata. So muna nga kinahanglan na ang atong mga programs di lang intended for the children but also for the who are during pregnancy. Okay. Next slide, please. So in these slides, makita nato din ang prevalence sa ato ang nutritionally at risk among pregnant. No? Kani siya, it was 30, it's 24.7, no? Based on 2015. This is for the national figure, no, for the Philippines. But our prevalence for nutritionally at risk pregnant women at Region 7 is much higher than the national. It's 27, no? So ang national is 24.7, but for Central Visayas, or prevalence for nutritionally at risk pregnant women is 27. Next slide. So the increasing trend of low birth weight in the country also shows that anemia among pregnant women remains a problem. Among women usually give birth to low birth weight infants, preterm infants, and those with birth defects, no? So muna nga at importante kay ato ang iron supplementation, no, for our pregnant women. So dapat gud mahitabo na during the first trimester, no? So dapat matay quality prenatal care. So kinahanglan during the first try mo adto na gyud ang atong mga pregnant women. Murag layo pa kaitaan na when it comes to that, no? So ang anemic good nga taas pag ang atong napagid siya sa public health problems ang in terms of prevalence of anemia among pregnant women. So ang kuan man gud ana if anemic ang ang pregnant women, so what do we expect from them? So ang outcome ana is it's either a preterm baby, but og madayon man gyap kuan siya it's a low birth weight baby, no? So muna siya nga ana siya ka importante ang atong iron supplementation for our pregnant women. Next slide, please. So ang kaning ato ang first 1,000 days mo ni siya actually mo ni siya ang ato ang 270 for the pregnancy, 180 sa 0 to 6 months, then 550 6 months up to 2 years old. So mo ni siya ang ato ang first 1,000 days, the golden ato ni siyang mas known siya, no, as a golden window of opportunity to prevent stunting and cut the intergenerational cycle of malnutrition. So starting from pregnancy, which is 270 days, first 6 months, which is 180 days. So ang ato din ha, sa may atong kuan ana gyud for 180 days ang ato ang exclusive breastfeeding. Then 6 months up to 2 years old, 550 days mo na siya ang ato ang breastfeeding gihapon, pero we have to start complementary feeding. So what dapat sa date, no? So we have to start complementary feeding after 180 days. So ana siya ka importante. Mo na siya nga if na kay ma-miss ana, so imuha nang na-miss ang opportunity sa usa ka individual or bata. Next slide, please. So actually ang ang undernutrition in the first 1,000 days is ang kuan man gud ana kay level na sa stunting atong natan-aw sa statistical no makuha ang iyang height, but ang pinaka kuan gud ana importante nga di gid nato makita, which is ang damage sa niya is irreversible. Mao na siya ang diha ang kuan sa performance sa ato ang mga bata, no? As you can see in this slide, makita nato nga ang kanang ang brain sa usa ka normal nga bata mas daghan siya na develop nga neurons compared to a stunted na child, no? So muna siya dili na nato siya makita, no? Kay mo na nahitabo mo na dito sa iyang brain, sulod sa brain sa bata. So pero ang damage ana is irreversible. So ang kuan gid ana mo na ato ang muna dili lang on the physical nga stunted siya kuang ingitas on para ngadto sa iyang edad. Pero ang pinaka kuan gid ana is the intellectual performance of the child. So mo na pinaka importante kay ngano once nga mas kuan ang iyang intellectual performance is lesser, so ang bata dili kay siya well perform, so di siya kaning mga bata di ni ganahan mo eskwela, no? Una mga dropouts sa school, no? So what do you expect from this kind of children, no? Ngayon ani. So eventually dili siya mahimong asset sa ato ang society, no? Mahimo siya ang liabilities. So less ang ilahang performance. So less sila ang productive, sila ang individual. So more sila of an economic burden to the society. Muna kuan ang undernutrition during the first 1,000 days. So irreversible ang damage and can be fatal, no? Okay. So next slide. Okay. So undernutrition in the first 1,000 days is largely irreversible and can be fatal. So lower physical work capacity, kung ang gisulti ka ganiha as an adult, niya or school performance throughout the adolescent, niya increased risk of deadly infectious disease, no? Kay kani sila may dali kasakit, mag-diarrhea o pneumonia, no? Niya early onset of chronic degenerative disease in adulthood. So more importantly, those undernourished children has twice the risk of having a chronic degenerative disease like diabetes, no? Kani silang ato ang mga stunted children. Okay. Next slide, please. Next. O kani siya atong ang kuani, no? Ang ato ani ang atong RA 1148. The law is kaning ang RA 1148 is a product of advocacy and developmental works led by government, the development partners, local government units. So ang kuan gyud ani nga nung nataw ni siya ang RA 1148. So effort ni sa dili lang from the government or the local government unit, appeal sa ani ang daghan nga non-government organization which provide that the first 1,000 day strategy works, no? So na may mga na-experience, mga evidence-based, no? Nga kinahang effective gyud kaayo ni nga mga strategy. So mao ni siya nga na inigawas ni ang Republic Act 1148, no? So nakita man gud nila nga effective ang implementation sa ato for those nag-implement na ni ani atong uban nga local government units from Luzon and Mindanao prior to the approval of RA 1148. So nakita nila nga effective gyud siya. So mao na nga daghan siya ni support na pagawas ani nga Republic Act 1148. Okay. So ang kaning Republic Act 1148 is an act of scaling up the national and the local health and nutrition programs through a strengthening and integrated strategy for maternal, neonatal, child health, nutrition in the first 1,000 days. Right? Approaching funds therefore for other purposes, no? So ang kuan ani niya scaling up na lang ni siya, no? Based on the experiences or evidence or those implementing these first 1,000 days, no? Okay, there are some local government unit before the Republic Act implement na gyud ani nga first 1,000 days, no? So mao na siya nga nahimo siya nga mura og model. So nakita man nila nga how effective. So ang Republic Act 1148 just a scaling up of what has been done for those LGUs implementing already the first 1,000 days. So ang law aims to help, the law aims to scale up health and nutrition by providing comprehensive, sustainable, and multi-sectoral strategies. Then, addressing problems of newborns, infants, and young children, pregnant, lactating women, and adolescents and females. So, ang kuan ani niya, because of those, ang iyang dating is holistic approach, no, to approach to families and children well-being to allow them to survive and thrive, no? So dili siya ingon nga individual ang kuan, pero the law calls for a dynamic collaboration, no? Collaboration with communities, among government sectors, and with private, no? Private, hindi lang siya for government, but also the private sector to be able to put the well-being of nutrition of the Filipino families, and especially women and children in the community, no? So ang kuan gid ani is dynamic collaboration in the communities. So para maka-access ang tanan gid ani and this will help them get out of the cycle of poverty and kuan sila, no, dili kaingon nga anha na lang gid sila magbalik-balik kay pobre na tao ta pobre na lang sad gid nga mamatay, no? At least mawala sila ani intergenerational effects of their health and economic capacity of the people. Next. So in this murag kuan lang ni siya, no, in the kaning slide, murag quick run through with the stages of first 1,000 days, no? Muna ang pregnancy, then infancy and early childhood. So mother's nutrition and mental health during pregnancy, then an infancy, muna atong breast milk is a super food for the babies and their first time of defense against illnesses and disease. During breastfeeding, babies and response to feces, gentle touch, and something. And then the early childhood. Okay. So, mo ni siya kaninga slide. More ang stages na gini siya sa first 1,000 days. Nag-start sa pregnancy, infancy, and then childhood, early childhood. Wala pa siya 2 years old. Then, next slide, please. Ang salient features of the law. No? The following are the features of RE 1148, which scales up the field efforts of implementation of the strategy. So, ang comprehensive program on first 1,000 days of life. So, a comprehensive and sustainable strategy is developed to address health and nutrition and developmental problems affecting infants, young children, adolescents, females, pre-pregnant, pregnant, lactating women. So the program prioritizes disaster-prone, geographically isolated areas through the provision of services and compliance to the milk code. So nagid si milk code, no? Okay, compliance to the milk code. Okay, so muna siya kuan gid siya nga appeal ang milk code. Okay. So accountability and partnership. Okay. So nganong naaman ni ang accountability and partnership. So accountability, the law emphasizes the importance of multi-sectoral collaboration. So muna siya ang ato ang RE 1148. Yahang gi-emphasize ang multi-sectoral collaboration to ensure that health and nutrition outcomes are reached and in alignment with the principles of universal healthcare. So lain sa ni siya sa ato ang universal healthcare, no? Okay. So the civil society organization and academic partners provide technical expertise and serve as watchdog of the implementation of the law. And host observation may be sources of innovations or general improvements to the strategy. So muna siya partnership with the civil society. So accountability and partnership. So muna siya usa sa gi-emphasize ani nga ato ang Republic Act 1148. So dili siya ingon nga di it's a one sector achievement. It's a multi-sectoral achievement. Next slide. So a whole of government approach a whole of government approach. So the DOH, NNC, DE in coordination with the key national government agencies, local government units, civil society organization, and other stakeholders to take part in the programs and intervention. Inclusion of the yearly government budget. So the need amount is charged in the yearly budget to initiate implementation and identifying a priority due to receive subsidies. No, so kinahanglan siya gyud nga na siya it should have a budget, a line item, no? This ato naman siyang nakuan during sa ato ang LNAP, no? Okay. So next slide, please. Next slide, please. Ma'am.
Jen.
Ma'am, usa ka slide. Slides before this one, ma'am. Practical and effective training courses. Okay. So practical and effective training courses. So trainings are given to barangay health workers and nutrition volunteers and child development workers to fulfill their role in the program's implementation in the community. Kaya naman sila dakog role, no? At the community level. So we have to capacitate them, our community health workers, no? So mo na siyang kuan kaayo ang training sa atong community health workers. Importante kaayo. Next slide. Slide, please. Ma'am, next slide. Okay. So I would like to run through the package of services we refer to within the first 1,000 days strategy. So mga klaro rin ninyo din ha. While this sounds as it's heavily on the head of the health sector, note that this can only be implemented effectively. Murag tan-aw nimo din ha kadaghanan niya sa health sector, no? Pero dili siya ma-implement by the health sector alone, no? Okay. So participants the utmost participation of smart investment and prioritization from the local government units, no? So kinahanglan di sa atong agriculture, education, social welfare, usab heavy role, no, in this optimum health and nutrition, supplement access to quality food, preventive health services, and psychosocial security. So makita niyo din ha nga ani nga slides na dili lang siya ma-address by one sector. Dili lang si taga-health ang mo address ani, but some other agencies that would help them address this okay, integrated ba yan? So it has to be integrated, ang kuan ani mang good nga dili ka. So target or the focus of one agency should be the same with the other agency. Dili sa kanya-kanya target. Okay? So next slide please. The following next na slide. Okay. So the major strategies programs in scaling up the health and nutrition in the first 1,000 is the following are the major strategies discussed by the law and the IRR. No, okay. To come up with the time list IRR, we use a framework to trigger individual and collaborative policy development. And based on evidence and implementations experiences guided by the Philippine Plan of Action on Nutrition. So ang guide with nato is the Philippine Plan of Action for Nutrition, the Universal Healthcare Principles, and the international agreements such as the Sustainable Development, ang atong SDG, no? Goals, the Standard Declaration of Primary Health Care, in health and nutrition, and other services related to the first 1,000 days strategy. Okay, next slide, please.
Ma'am Jewel?
Nawala, ma'am.
Ma'am Jewel, can you we test your audio again, please?
Hello? Hello?
Ayan. Okay. We can hear you again, Ma'am Jewel.
Wala pa kuan advance.
Sige. Okay na, Ma'am Jewel. We can hear you na.
Okay. Okay. Pwede na putol po, ma'am. Kapait. To answer to the IRR framework, the IRR is built to provide cross-cutting components to guide the OH, NNC, and AE in coordination with the NGAs, LGU, CSOs, and other stakeholders in reviewing, integrating, and strengthening the following cross-cutting components to improve the effective coverage, delivery, and scale up of strengthening the the first 1,000 days strategy within the trust of PPAN, no? And according to the universal healthcare. Okay. Slide, please. So include the intervention in the first 1,000 days. Strategy is in the services package to be created. No? The services under the first 1,000 days strategy shall be included in the service packages, no? Based on the principles of universal healthcare. The new intervention as well are those existing requiring a periodic review of the strategy shall undergo the health of universal healthcare. Paano siya sa ato ang universal healthcare, no? That ensure that sector collaboration, partnership through the National Nutrition Council, the Regional Nutrition Committee, and Local Nutrition Committee, no? Okay. So The NNC, the Regional Nutrition Committee, and Local Nutrition Committee shall provide the basic mechanism for sectoral collaboration and partnership for the implementation of the first 1,000 weeks. Next slide, please. Next slide. Okay, so the Department of Health, together with NNC and key agencies, shall develop strategies and implementation plans for the capacity building and health human resources for the implementation of the first 1,000 days strategy. Then, in terms of logistic and supply chain management, forecasting and procurement and storage and distribution and this deliver supplies needed and the implementation. The first 1,000 strategy should ensure the timely availability of supplies for delivery of services under the strategy, no? So muna siya ang na to din ha, ang role na to. Then next slide, please. So the DOH, together with NNC and key agencies, shall develop a comprehensive health and nutrition promotion, communication, and advocacy plan for first 1,000 days strategy, which is expected for adoption and localization by the LG. Then develop and monitor an evaluation of A&A plan with the help of civil society organization, academia, and local stakeholders. Next one. Next slide, please. Okay, so as for research and development, DOH and NNC with key agencies shall develop research agenda to be integrated in the National Unified Health Research Agenda, and the PIPAN research agenda shall be aligned with the needs of the universal healthcare and the first 1,000 days strategy. The contents of this agenda shall be funded by agency concerned. Then make policies and other relevant data accessible and available to the public in accordance with the Data Privacy Act. Next one. Next slide, please. Next slide.
Okay, murag nawala na po again si Ma'am Jewel. No, so kanang kuan, pahuway-huway gamay. I hope everybody's still there and still listening, still awake. uh, we're still waiting for Ma'am Jewel to come join us again. I think she has a lot of kanang problems with kanang connection karon. I hear that you have problems too with your connection, and we've already provided you with a link to the YouTube kanang live. So there we actually have 42 people watching from YouTube. So thank you so much. Feeling na mo YouTuber na mi karon. Nagwait pod mi sa inyohang kanang mga kankuan.
So,
Ay, ayan, na si Ma'am Joel.
It came to the body attention.
Ma'am Joel?
Yes.
Yes, wala kanawala man gud kaganiha. So Ma'am Joel is back and kanang we're going to kuan kanang padayon ta. Oh, mabati na ka karon, Ma'am.
So kung makuno. Tantong religid mo mahubang kuan.
Sige. So padayon ta, Ma'am Joel.
Nabati na ko ani?
Bati na ka.
Okay.
Nahuman naman.
Ani? Okay. Sige, next na slide. Last. Okay. So in conclusion, how LGU are critical for the scale up of the first 1,000 strategy. No? Okay. Next slide. Next na slide, ma'am. Please, formulate their own local nutrition action plan, focusing on the first 1,000 days of life, no? Parang sa LGU, designate or appoint now to coordinate nutrition strategies and activities among stakeholders and other LGUs. Next slide. So align the first 1,000 days integrated framework and strategy into the barangay development plans and annual budget. Okay, so involve community group leaders and families in planning and budgeting and implementing and monitoring activities and create accountability for the results. Next. Okay. So organize and mobilize communities for the advocacy, identify local champions who can become drivers of changes in their community. So investigate capacitating frontline service providers in their community and sustain their motivation to deliver quality services. So now for my last slide, I want to emphasize that when we see government in the context of the first 1,000 days strategy, we should not only think of the national and the local government unit, no? So both health and non-health actors are part of the government, part of the governance structure who needs to be engaged in the strategy. Once again, fresh and collaborations among agencies, the academe, civil society organization, our local chiefs, communities are needed to enable to sustain and strategies of financing and ensuring appropriate human resource in the implementation of this law. So, ang kuan gid ani is it's the whole, no? It's the whole community, like not only the whole government, the local, and the private sector. It's a multi-sectoral. So let's all of government efforts to scale up interventions. Last na lang yung slides. Thank you na.
Okay, so thank you, Ma'am Jewel. That was the first part of her kanang kuan presentations. There are two more to go. To follow it will be the interim nutritional guidelines for women of reproductive age. So medyo, I think this has been disseminated to you, but this will be a kanang short review lang. Ma'am Jewel, are you back?
Yes, yes.
Ayan. Okay, so
Okay, so paano ni simple lang. Actually, na-disseminate na ni siya. No? For those who are trained on identifying high-risk pregnancy, mauna usa sa ni siya dito sa gi-discuss. No? So, National Nutritional Guidelines for Women of Reproductive Age. Next slide. So, developed with financial and technical assistance from our development partners, Nutrition International, INAI, and UNICEF, based on the global and local guidance and evidences. So, guided by inputs from multi-sectoral stakeholder, technical expert, and representative of professional organization and the academy, national program managers and policymaker, implementers across the different levels of system and grassroots services. Next slide, please. Ang rationale gid ani niya is okay. So, adolescent and women of reproductive age, especially the pregnant and lactating women, are among those vulnerable to all forms of malnutrition. The National Nutrition Survey revealed that stunting among 0 to 5 months old is already on the range of 10 to 12, no? Actually indicating that intrauterine growth restriction. So actually, ako sa na siyang gistorya dito sa atong RA 1148, no? Republic Act 1148 or kalusugan sa nutrition na Magnanay Act mandates the provision of a life-saving nutrition intervention. Focus on the first 1,000 days of a life to break the intergenerational cycle of malnutrition. This guidance is complements the administrative order 2016-0035 guidelines on the provision of bulky antenatal care. There is no available global guidelines yet. The Philippines is one of the two countries in the East Asia Pacific region to issue such a guidelines. Next slide, ma'am. A general objective is to provide evidence, guidelines, and the assessment of identification of management of all forms of malnutrition among women of reproductive age, targeting three population groups: the adolescent females, adult women before pregnancy, the conception stage, adolescent females and adult women, and the postpartum lactating women. Centers for scope and coverage, centers for health development, and other DOH concerned offices involved in the provision of technical and lactating adolescent females, adult, and non-pregnant and lactating adolescent females, women of reproductive age. Next slides. Next slides, please. Next slide. Next slide. Okay. So specific guidelines for non-pregnant and lactating and adolescent and adult women, no? So for one, assist, i-assist ang nutritional status using the BMI for girls 5 to 19 years old adults following WHO gold standard and cutoff. Two is asked to determine history of heavy menstruation, lioness, palpitation, fatigue, weakness, weight gain, and AIDS. Yes. Assess sign micronutrient deficiency. Palimo ni siya ang atong buhato, no? Then provide nutrition counseling for normal clients and individualized counseling for underweight, overweight, hypertensive, and diabetic patients. Then provide appropriate micronutrient supplements, particularly in the weak iron folic acid nato WIPA based on the nutritional guidelines. Then promote use of fortified food, especially iodized salt, to prevent iron deficiency disorder. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, for adolescent, pregnant adolescent and adult women, so assist nutritional status using BMI, then screen for CBC, particular anemia, and make follow-up screening after 1 month, screen for gestational diabetes using appropriate laboratory tests, then assist dietary intake of pregnant women and provide individualized counseling of underweight, overweight, or with gestational diabetes, then provide appropriate micronutrient supplement, iron, folic acid, MMS. So na-appeal rin ang MMS, the multi-micronutrient supplementation, iodized salt capsule, calcium and carbonate based on nutritional guidelines. They provide RUSF for moms or refer to existing dietary supplementation program for pregnant and adolescent nutritionally at-risk pregnant women. Pero may tabo lang ang on the last trimester. Okay, next slide, please. Next. Next slide. Next slide. So for lactating adults, for lactating adolescent and adult women, so assess nutritional status using BMI, assess food intake and determine chronically energy deficient lactating women, assess the underlying causes of undernutrition, parasitism, tuberculosis, and mutism. Then provide individualized counseling of underweight or overweight, hypertensive, and diabetic. Provide appropriate micronutrient supplement. Then provide RUSF to moms or refer to existing dietary supplementation program for chronic energy deficient women. No? Okay. So, dinhi sa koan, na dinhi nga sa PAIC, provide appropriate micronutrient supplements. Actually, naatay mga municipalities nga nakadawat og multiple micronutrient na supplements from Feed the Children. Okay? No? So, para lang ma-uniform lang for those who, pero sa Sibura man sa Sibura ni siya, no? For those 14 LGUs, 12 municipalities, and 2 cities who receive multiple micronutrient supplements from Feed the Children. So kung gihatagan mo na ihatag ninyo sa iyong pregnant, di na ninyo siya tagaan og IFA, iron folic acid, no? Pero i-record gihapon ninyo sa iyong TCL for pregnant women for those nag-receive og MMS, katong multiple micronutrient supplements, no, from Feed the Children. So, pero ang expiry man gud anang micronutrient supplement nga gihatag sa Feed the Children will be this coming May 21. So, na-receive siguro na ninyo mga February na. So, dili February or early January. So, dili na gid siya makakuan sa 180. One bottle is 180, no? Supposedly, mausa na siya ang riba for iron supplementation, it's 180. But for those using the MMS, dili na siya pwede tagaan sa ato ang iron. Pero if ever dili pa siya kahurot sa 180, na expired na ang ang MMS, pwede sumpayan niya o ato ang IFA, ang iron folic acid, no? For those muni siya ang atong mga municipalities, no, na naka-receive og wala man sad good wala mi ka kuan ani kay murag ni diretso ra man guni ang Feed the Children to the LGU. So the LGU nga nagkadawat og MMS, Malabuyok, Badchan, Dumanhog, Barili, Ronda, Alcantara, Uslob, Alcoy, Dalagit, San Remio, Midilien, Pugo, Toledo, Pinamungahan. Kung naamo karon, so hopefully inyo haning inyo ning ma-consider. Pero you have to record all those nga nakadawat og MMS sa inyong TCL. Should be noted, no? Okay. So dapat recorded siya ang atong MMS. So kung dili man maghuman ang iyang 180 sa MMS kay na expired na, then pwede niya sumpayan i-continue sumpayan niya ang 180 with the IFA. Pero dili siya magdungan. But for those na ang ilahang namay those area or ang expiry nila is 2022 pa, pwede pagid kaayo na ang ilang makuha ang 180, no? Okay. So para makaklaro lang ba kay basig nagkuan sila og MMS, kunya naghatag pagid sila og EPA, no? So for those nga naghatag og MMS, katong ang brand ana niya is Angel. So mo na nga ato ang kuan, ato na siyang ato na siyang i-record, no? It should be recorded in the TCL. Butang lang dito nga MMS siya. Ay.
Okay, nawala na po si Ma'am Jul. Sige, so there. Ayan ha. So that was the interim guidelines, no, for kanang women of reproductive age na ay kanang different na assessment and kanang services to be provided for non-pregnant women, pregnant women, and lactating women. And naay mga pangutana before while nag-move si Miss Camille sa ato ang next slide, next na kanang kuan ni Ma'am Jul, no, kay para pod makapahuway gamay si Ma'am Jul, there are gamay lang na kanang review nato, no. So ang multivitamins na nadawat nato from katong kuan sa atong usa ka NGO sa Cebu,
The
murag
children.
kanang discuss nato ni Ma'am, Feed the Children. Ayan, gingon kanang kuan ni Ma'am Jul, pwede siya magamit in place of katong iron folic acid, tama Ma'am Jul? As long as maabot sila
Yes,
kung 180 days,
ma'am.
kung mo expire na
Oo. Pero
before,
kung dili siya
maabot
may
nila ang
pagtansya sa expiry,
oo.
sumpayan
Kung
na
maabtan
lang
siya,
niya para og ipa.
yan.
So,
Kung dili siya,
kuan
kung dili
niya ang
maabotan siya
180.
expiry, atong
Yes.
sumpayan og iron folic acid para maabot gihapon ang 180 days, and dapat pod appeal lang gihapon ni siya og report nato, no. So mao jud to ang
Record lang
ipot
siya
nato sa
pila
Ma'am Jul.
ka MMS, then pila ka IPA ang ilahang gikuan.
Okay, so
Wala
kato ang
na
atong
siya,
reminder.
wala na siya iodized, wala man sa iodized capsule. Okay.
Okay. So while nag-wait ta ni Miss Camille na mag-move, so kanang kuan na, no, na mag-assess na nutritional status last pa before ta mo move on. Actually ang isa sa mga question from Bohol kay murag diri na ma-answer, no. So later na lang i-park lang sa nato. Naalay pangutana Ma'am Jul, what trimester pwede na maka-start daw sa MMS?
Ay, wala siya kuan, ma'am. Pwede ra gyud siya anytime mo start siya. Kay supposed to be iron man ang atong ginahatag, no? Nya wala man ta nagkuan anang MMS. Ang ato ay is IPA. Kaya ang atong kuan sa IPA, di ba, kung the very first time nga maato siya sa health center, nga supposedly the ideal is during the first semester, tagaan naman gud na nato, no? Maos na siya para mahurot niya 180. Oo.
Okay, sige. So there, I hope na answer na ni Ma'am Jul katong atong question from si Ma'am Sugar from Bogo. Okay, so let's move on, Ma'am Jul, to our assessing nutritional status of pregnant women na discussion. Ma'am Jul?
Hello?
Ma'am Jul, madunggan pa minimo?
Yes, ma'am. Madunggan pa po
Ayan.
ninyo.
Okay, next na, ma'am. Next na, ma'am. Assessing nutritional status na.
Uy, asa
Muna
na?
to last na
Okay.
question, ma'am.
Oh, last. Okay.
Okay,
Sige.
sige.
So, assessing nutritional status. Hala. Manawa man akong ang slides. Okay. Next nga slide. Pasilang din, ma'am. Actually, assessing the nutritional status of pregnant women. Who are the nutritionally at risk pregnant women in your area Yeah, how do you know they are one? So what do you do to help or support them? So next slide, please. So why assess nutritional status of the pregnant women? Assess the well-being of the pregnant is the healthy to cope up with the physiological demands of pregnancy, proxy indicator of birth outcomes and maternal death, low birth weight, stillbirth, premature death. The targeting and prioritization of interventions who will be included for prioritized intervention program. No? Okay. Limited ba atong resources, no? So mo na ato siyang atong dapat mahibaw ta para ma-prioritize. And a well-nourished women excessive weight gain during pregnancy followed by only a short period of lactation is associated with postpartum overweight and increased risk of disease in later life. Next slide. Next, okay, so at mo man ni atong mga measuring tools, no? Familiar na mo ani. Neighbor ang kuan din ha is the MIWAC, no? The uncolored MIWAC tape for adults, no? Okay, so appeal siya din ha yang ato ra bang ito sa atong FHSIS during sa training ang ato gid is being IRA. So siguro karon nakadawat aning adult MIWAC tape nga gi-distribute sa NNC and daghana sa nangutana kung saon no paggamit kanos siya gamiton. Okay. Sige, next. Muna atong istoryahan doon, no? Tama sa gidnawa. Ito, simple raman na ang MIWAC, no? Ang MIWAC tape. Actually, dili naman siya bago. Ang kuan lang ana nga murag gi-associate lang ni siya nato. Wa kay ni nato siya gigamit manggod. Actually wala man tay kuan nato no before the 2018 version of FHSIS, wala gitay way how we identify. So we don't have any data on nutrition at rest na pregnant. Okay. So at least karon na natay pwede na tong gamiton aside from the BMI. Okay. Next slide please. So kani siya mga kuanan ni calibration na no nga gamiton. Okay. Next slide please. Next slide. Next slide. Next nga slide. Next nga slide, please. So, assessing nutrition status of pregnant women, no? Is pregnancy, so pre-pregnancy BMI. So, this is important, but what are we doing this, no? So, using the following reference table, so WHO BMI for age girls 15 to 19 and WHO BMI for adults for women 20 to 49 years old. So, next slide. So, ang WHO Nutritional Guidelines for Women of Reproductive Age, ato ang measure weight and height, no? So, muna ang MIWAC for all pregnant women at first antenatal visit. So, ang ato manggod din sa atong instruction, BMI during the first trimester. So, within the first 12 weeks. Kung di mo anha si mama, the pregnant woman, within the first 12 weeks or first try, so di siya pwede sa BMI, no? Okay. So, ang gamito na nato, maod na to katong MIWAC. Kaya ang kuan manggod nato sa BMI during the first 12 weeks lang or first trimester. Kung mula pa siya, although maogi na gusto kita natong mahitabo, that should be the ideal, nga mo ato siya during the first trimester, no? Okay, pero di man sa kita mo man ay usa sa atong mga dako nga challenge, no? Nga ang quality prenatal visit nga mo happen ang kauna ana during the first trimester. Then mo na atong gamiton is ang MIWAC. Ang naata siya yung mga cut-off, no? Kung less than 20, equal or less than 23, for nutrition counseling lang siya, no? Enroll in dietary supplementation program or na siya, no? For MIWAC, ang less than negative 20, equal or less than negative 21, refer for management of acute malnutrition. So kung less than negative 21 na sa kato nga MUAC. Pero i-record gihapon siya ninyo nga usa gihapon siya sa na-identify ninyo nga nutritionally at rest, not using BMI but using MUAC tape, no? Okay. Kaya ninganha man siya outside the first trimester. Second try naman siya or basin bang niyanha, third try na, no? Okay. So, kung na-identify nimo siya nga nutritionally at rest, it should be recorded sa PCL. And then, ang ikutang lang din to nga second try, na-identify siya nga nutritionally at rest using MUAC, no? So, muna siya nga, ato siyang i-record dito. So, puno na siya. Sa una, BMI ramang good ang ginakuha nato. Pero karon nga, nanay gipagawas nga mga nanghatag ng ANC o kanang new adult MUAC, so pwede na nato siyang magamit, no? For those nga mianha during the second try. So monitor gestational weight gain at its subsequent antenatal visit using Institute Medicine defined ranges for BMI category as guide. So enroll in dietary supplementation. If gestational weight gain is less than a lower limit for corresponding pre-pregnancy BMI class. So, katong mga na-identify during the first try nga nutritionally at rest niya or during the second try nutritionally at rest, ang ilang dietary supplementation adto sa third try na, no? Okay. So, dapat ma-enroll sila ika third try of mga dietary supplementation program, no? So katong atong pregnant women. So next. So kani di na lang kay na ko ikuan ang BMI kay actually kamo nakakuan naman ani for those for our during the training sa FHSIS. Mo proceed na lang ta dito ma'am sa MUAC. Next. Actually, mo na siya ang mga BMI cut-offs for adult 20 years old and above, no? Kung less than 18.5 mo na underweight, 18.5 to 24.9 normal weight, yan na siya pre-obesity, obesity class 1, obesity class 2, obesity class 3. So, problema man sa normal dyan. Sige, next na. Next na slide. So underweight, so less than 18.5. Low but rest to other clinical problems increase. No? Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide, ma'am. Next slide. Next slide. Okay. So, next na slide lang, ma'am. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide, ma'am. Next slide, please. Actually, wala. Next slide. Okay. Okay. Sige, very much. So mid-upper circumference ang MUAC, no? To be used if BMI is not possible after exhausting all possible means, no? So MUAC A for adults, cut off is negative 23 centimeter, no? Okay. So una siya, no, kung ang dili gid siya mo ato during the first trimester. Okay. So mo ni siya ang ato ang gamiton for for identifying the nutritionally at risk pregnant women. So ang less than or equal to negative 23 centimeter, refer for nutrition counseling and enroll in dietary supplementation. No? Okay. So ato siyang ikuan for counseling. There for negative less than negative 21 centimeter, refer for the management of acute malnutrition. So, kuan na gid kay na siya, no? Diwang na gid kay na. Oh, okay. So, kay negative 21, imagine na lang mo negative 21. So, refer for management of acute malnutrition. Next. Next slide. Next slide. So, use of MIWAC in pregnant women increasingly being used to assess nutritional status.
Okay, murag nawala na po si Ma'am Joel, no? So, ato na po siya kanang kuanon. We'll wait for a bit for Ma'am Joel, but this is the same basically procedure on how to kuha your MIWAC. Same lang pod gihapon sa pagkuha nato sa kanang mga mothers, sa mga mothers, same lang pod sa atong practice nato for children. We'd like to ask kanang
Yes.
please comment below if nakadawat na mo sa inyong mga MIWAC for mothers pod na kanang gi-send sa from the National Nutrition Council. And murag nabalik na si Ma'am Joel. Ma'am Joel, are you back?
Paet.
Okay, sige,
Ay,
sige.
maunta ng taga-saisan.
Sige, nabalik si Ma'am Joel. Ma'am Joel, padayon ta, Ma'am Joel. I'd like to ask lang, no, katong mga participants nato to please signify, oo, kung nakadawat sila sa MIWAC ni gipadala sa NNC para makabalo lang po ta. Okay, Ma'am Joel?
Ay,
balik ta sa
ano
imo,
lang,
ha?
ma'am. Adi na lang. Pareho naman you have to measure MIWAC, no? Okay.
Oo.
So at least ako na siyang kuan ang cut off. Pero in terms of the process, how to measure the MIWAC, pareho lang sad siya katong sa bata, no? Only lang imuhang sa adult. Ang cut off lang sad niya is different from the child, no? Kaya nag-cut off man tag acute malnutrition for pregnant kung less than 21 or equal to 21, no? Okay, so kinahanglan siyang management of sa ato ang katong less than 21. For less than 23 or equal to 23, counseling, pero later, pwede rin sa niyo siya ikuan if ever na ay mga dietary supplementation. Kaya ang gigamit manggod nato for less than 21 for management of acute malnutrition for pregnant is ang kato manggong ready to use na USF for mom. So, di na lang ita mang kuan aning how to kuan kay mo sa murag anam siya ka dugay mawa ni sad. Okay. Sige, that's all. Thank you, ma'am.
Sige, so thank you kayo, Ma'am Joel, no? Murag napagaw jud to si Ma'am Joel. Ang hina jud si Ma'am Joel. Mawala pa jud ang kanang internet na mga challenges jud of kanang kuan the new normal. So I've been reading the kanang comments, daghan na ang nakadawat. Most of them are from kanang Bohol. I think the whole province of Bohol has already distributed, no, the MIWACs to their LGUs, and naapoy uban na nakadawat ang Negros, ingon si Ma'am Nanette, nadawat na daw sa ilaha. Ang Cebu province na lang na pipila na wala nakadawat. So we really hope that this could be provided in or ayan, Cebu nga na-receive na daw. Katong mga ni kanang comment na wala pa ang inyong mga kanang MIWAC, we will follow up for distribution para sa katong kuan mga areas nato. Okay? So with that, we'll go back to the program, and ang next na is me, no? Ako isunod na, and I hope gising pa ba murag kakita jud kog daghan na mga kanang kuan der, mga BNS ba ni, mga midwife or mga kanang kuan, mga PHNs nato makita jud nako. So hello everybody. We will be giving you updates on the EOPT tool. So EOPT na jud ang atong kanang i-review karon, i-check na to kung kamusta na ang update sa atong EOPT tool. So an overview, the OPT Plus no is, or the Operation Plus, the Operation Timbang Plus. Ang meaning anang plus dira is added para when we adopted the child growth standards. Sa una, kung maka-remember pa ta, katong mga pillars na, pillars ay tawag no, katong mga pillars lang, kato sa una, OPT rang tawag, kay timbang ra jud ang gihimo. Ang plus is because we have added na height and length. No, so it is an annual measuring of weight and height or length of children 0 to 59 months old. No, so if ka remember mo sa una, we covered 0 to 71, but right now we're covering 0 to 59 months na lang. No, so nga naman kay sige di ay itong mag double reporting ta kay naay uban na naa na sa kinder, no, so na report na di ay sila dito sa DepEd. And then use as basis, the OPT Plus is used, so ato na siyang gihimo as basis for identifying unsay intervention na pwedeng mahimo sa ato ang mga LGUs. And lastly, it is conducted and must be completed within the first quarter of the year. Both pasabot up to March lang ni siya, no? Up to March lang tamang timbang and magkuha og kanang height and length. So, your tools can be downloaded here, no? I am showing you the kanang kuan right now, the reporting form. You could download it at nnc.gov.ph, no? Naatay kanang kuan article dira. Na ay kanang kuan. Pwede ninyo mag-click ng form or pwede you could go to nnc.gov.ph, makita na rin ninyo sa kilid na electronic operation timbang plus tools or EOPT tools. So I'd also like to kanang ask lang po our kanang kuan secretary to help mute no ang kanang some of the kuan there. So there, and then oh my God. So there. Someone is raising their hand. I'll answer your questions right after the kind of discussion and before we go to the tools. No, as of right now, ang atong electronic EOPT, ang EOPT Plus tool na to is sadly dili pa jud siya inana ready. But we could kanang nasa taas, you could pindot Visayas there, and then from Visayas na atay Region 7 mo na siya. So the regular EOPT tool is still under repair. Sadly, medyo dugay na siya, but this is because we're trying to really provide you with katuganing populations. Moto siya ang kanang bag-o na update na to. So we ask for your patience lang jud. So on the next slide, you will find kanang kuan some features sa atong EOPT na tool. So there. Unsa man na OPT tool ang atong gamiton, no? For kanang kuan. Unsa na OPT tool ang atong gamiton when we go to the next slide, will show you which OPT tool should we use. You have two choices. Ako'y nawala. Sige. So I hope you could hear me better na. Ayan. So there. Which OPT tool should be used? You have two choices. The regular EOPT tool and the acute OPT tool. I think Miss Camille needs to kuan sa slide na to. Next slide. On the next slide na pod. Ayan. After that, the next slide will show you the kanang kuan. Decision tree. Ayan. After that, Miss Camille na. Human na taan na discuss. The decision tree or for local government units or the OPT will show you no kanang unsay atong gamiton. I think there was a question there. Unsay gamiton ba jud? Kailangan ba jud ang kanang weight and length or miwak lang or unsa ba? So ang kanang giingon dire no, I think very pino ni siya, so we will share with you ang mas kanang mas dako na kanang ano mas na enlarge lang siya na part later. But ang giingon dire, if your LGU is under ECQ, no, if ECQ ang atong LGU, i-check nato if possible ba ang conduct sa OPT, pero wala naman nag-ECQ pod nato, no? So pwede na ni nato ikanang kuan. But there are cases or there are areas that have chosen to not use the katang whole or the regular OPT kay lagi mahadlok sila o kanang daghan-daghan sila cases. So if daghan mo cases, ang kanang point lang ato, you could use the MIWAC lang or the katong acute malnutrition tool. Ana lang siya. But if kaya lang sa inyong LGU to do the height and length, the weight and length or height na kanang pangkuha sa weight and pagkuha sa height and length, mao lang siya, we could use the regular tool. Okay? So that's kanang how the decision tree works. So we skip the rest of the kanang kuana, the decision tree, and I'm going to kanang kuana lang some exciting news. So plus 3 slides. Ayan. So there. Plus 3 slides, Miss Meng. 1, 2, 3. After that pa. So these are just the parts of the katong ano, marang gipadakaan gamay para you can see. But we will share with you the guidelines na lang po. So para dili I know dili to makita kaayo sa inyo ha. But we have exciting news for the new EOPT tool, no? So the updates, this version or this OPT tool has actually an autofill for your population data. Kaya nga naman, the last time we had a lot of kanang problems katong nag-open nagkatong nagamit ta og katong old na mga EOPT dahil lahi bitaw tang mga data no data sa population na kanang na actual na ay katong projected na ay lahi ang kanang gigamit na basis ana. So karon ang atong gihimo is giisa na lang jud no nagbutang na jud ta og kanang population didto. So as long as you identify kung unsa na municipality, unsa na barangay, ang population na projected population na ato mugawas na dayon. So it also has auto labeling. Ka remember mo last year or the previous years, pangayuan mo og Philippine Standard Geographic Code or PSGC tapos mag-isip pa taasan ni siya kuhaon. Ayan, so medyo maglibog pa tanawon saon siya. But this time, included na po na siya. Auto-labeled na siya as long as you identify which area ang inyuhang kanang kuan LGU. There are also drop-down list na. So sa una, kamo pa'y magbutang kung unsa na province, cities, municipalities. Naiuban, malimot pa jud og butang kung unsay barangay or kanang sometimes makapi-paste dataw na barangay ana niya. So nakapi-paste siya, lahi na dito siya na barangay. So nalibog na ta unsa na pagkanang kuan, pag-compile no. This time, the new OPT tool will give you kanang kuan, will give you drop-down list para mo pili na lang mo what province, city, or municipality actually up to the barangay level na ani siya. And then, do you remember na naatay ka ng kuan? Naatay ka tong master list bitaw of malnourished children? Diba naatay ka tong master list of malnourished children? Karon, if naay mothers or caregivers na duha kabuk ang anak na malnourished, iisa na lang ihap ato kay this is to kanang kuan show no pila jud ka households kay di ba sige ta ma'am problema ma'am 5 ka book ang among bata diri sa barangay na malnourished but tulo lang mi ka household kay naay mag-igsuon ana siya ba so para mas kanang maayo ang atong pagplan pag-use sa plan. And lastly, children with incomplete information, for example kulang wala ta kakuha no nauna siyang timbang itimbang siya but wala ta kakuha og height and length no so if inana gani mo show jud pud ito sa ato ang tool na nakulangan ang iyang data so that it would kanang kuan remind our health workers or nutrition workers na naatay kulang na data for the child for the particular child. So next, Miss Meng. Ayan. So we will give this a try. Okay. So we will give this a try. I'll show you the tool, but this is for demo only. I'm really sorry, but wala pa jud na finalize ang among kanang kuan, ang kanang unsa ni ang OPT. You can encode na daan if kanang ready na ang uban ninyo na data. You can encode it sa regular sa old na tool and then copy paste later. And I'll show you that pod later on. But I'd like to show you how it looks like para mas dali mo makakanang kuan no imagine lisod manggod ka nang nagstorya lang ko dire tapos Dili mo ka-imagine kung unsaon siya. So I'll show you how it looks like. It actually looks a lot like the old OPT tool. However, I'm sorry, medyo hinay ang among kanang internet, but I'm hoping it will pop out of the screen soon. Ayan. So there na. This is a community na ang atong tawag sa iya, no? Community level EOPT plus tool. So I'm hoping that everyone can still see this. Please let us know. Ako pong padak-an para sa katong mga kuan. So sa mga ma'am na nagkuhag picture dora, post po ko. So kuan. So what do we do? First, we have to make sure if you see green gani na mga kanang kuan. I'm sorry, I'll delete this first. This is from for kanang kuan namo. Ayan. Let's delete this first. At the first glance, inani siya mo gawas. So ayaw kahadlok, no? Kanang kuan siya. Murag wala siya sulod and everything. Murag inana blank. Wala ko'y ma-encodean, ma'am. Murag na ato'y nangutana last time. Wala sila ma-encodean. Kaya inani siya gawas. But how do we do this? First, we have to answer tanan na kanang mga parts na naay green. So year, example, what year? Here, as you can see where my arrow is, we have the year there. So we hope that you could kanang fill that in lang pod, no? The year here of the OPT. So right now, that's 2021. And then kakita mo ning na red on the left side of the screen, this one. This tool is for, no? You could drop this down. Kay naay possible siya na himo siyang barangay or purok or area. Kay na may times na area ang ilang tawag or block. Ayan. So pwede siya na barangay level or if dagko mo barangay or ganahan na jud mo ay ang inyong per purok, ayan, you could use purok. No? So what's the difference there? If kabantay mo, when I say barangay lang, walay nigawas ani na side. No? Walay nigawas ani na side. But when I said naipurok, mugawas na ang kanina blank na part. Okay? So how do we answer this? First, syempre medyo baliktad ni siya gamay, no? Kay mauna tag province. Ayan, we have to identify what province you're in. No, ano man, kay kung moingon na taon sa na province ka, na po ito'y giingon din, no? There, if you could kanang it says there na you have to answer like example, we're from Sarangani province. Pakyaw. Kuan. Tapos from Sarangani province, mo drop down na lang from there. So example sa ato from Cebu province, mo drop down tanan ng mga municipalities from Cebu province. So let's say Sarangani province, let's say Maasim, and from Maasim unsa na barangay. So ang mga barangays ninyo gilis na lang po dira. No? Ayan. So you could choose, I don't know, wala man ko kaadto pag kanang Sarangani. So kana tapos kanilang siya dili lang pud grabe ra pud no kung pati purok na memorize sa kanang kuan sa national na naghimuan ni. So ang purok pwede ka mo lang mag-encode. So purok so mainana na siya and mawala na ang green na part. No? Ang para it's basic with the old na kanang tool. You will still look at the for the name, the address and the location, purok, block, area or lawn, and then the name or kanang kuan of the mother or the caregiver, full name of children, and so on and so forth. So kana ra it's the same. It's basically everything, no? Naalang nato at kanang loan. Important in format. Please read. Giana jud na siya kay naman. Naayo man na maglisod sila sa katong date betaw malibog kung unsay gamiton. So how do we do that? When you pindot this one, it transports you to the tab, the instructions tab. The instructions will tell you that the type and the date format into the tool for child's date of birth and date of measurement must be the same as the way the date format in your computer's operating system appears. Wala ko'y audio. Naara daw. Sige. So naara daw Ma'am Claire, nadukoy audio. Kuan. Ayan. So okay sabot ana, butbut ana when you put in no the date here, it should be the same date dili no dili makita sa akong screen but makita sa kilid kanang sa ubos bitaw on your left no right day on the right no kanang low na kanang part sa inyong screen kung unsay nakabutang dira example sa inyo ha kay day month year ang inyong ibutang kung month day year ang nakabutang kanang sa inyong computer na operation system mao pud ang inyong gamiton no para na same siya and dili malibog ang kanang computer. So ayan, that's how it would look like. So let's give you a sample. No, for the sample, I'm going to use data from an imaginary barangay. So let's say kanina siya na purok. Let's copy lang. Say, you could copy paste no by the way. Kanang kuan. Ayan. Kuan di ay kanang ko lang values na mo para dili dali mawalaan o kanang kuan and dili mag-ilis ang mga what you call this format. So say ang kanang nigawas no mo na siya ang mga bata from this year na nato nagi-copy from the previous year. So what you could do is you could copy data from the previous year's EOPT to this year para makita lang ninyo master list and then mo na siya ilisan lang ninyo ang date measured. No? So that means na you don't need all of the EOPT, the names of the children again every year. What you're going to do lang is just copy paste from the previous year and then erase those na nag-graduate na or katong nibalhin plus add kanang entries. So for example, kana siya. So the date, let's say may kanang kuan may computer says 12/3/2021. No? So inana ang kanang format na mo. So it will go out like this man gyapon. So inana siya kanang kuan. And makita ninyo ang age in months same na pud gihapon na-identify lang pud gihapon siya like that. So let's say 3 days siya na nagbalik-balik nagkuan. Ayan. So again, as you can see, ang katong mga graduate ng lagyo pa nag-100 kuno jud siya. Kabikin gihapon to show you that kini siya is ang bata na overage na and graduate na siya dili na siya maila kanang kuan kanang list nato. So mao na siya. So let's say this child is 14 kilos. This child is 20. Okay, and then this child is 74. Wala lang, ganahan lang ko severely stunted siya. And then this child is, let's say, 100. So there. So let's say kani siya na tayduwa na kanang ko ano. So you can see again ang severely stunted and obese na siya ang bata and normal and so on. So kana siya. I'd like to give lang emphasis no sa kanina tool manggod. You could use the BNS printout. No, the BNS printout is kung mahuman na mag-encode, di ba na-encode man ninyo tanan, mugawas na siya sa BNS printout tanan. So the next time na mo timbang ang mga BNSs and ang mga BHWs, mas maayo unta if kanina lang ang atong gamiton na kanang kuan na document para mas dali makita diretso. You don't have to read, don't have to re-encode sa daan. There are also kanang mga kuan important info on the instructions. I suggest to everybody who is going to really be the one to encode, no? Please read the instructions. Daghan jud kayo kag makuha dito ng mga kanang details. But I don't wanna discuss all of it manggod kay balin niya taasa maabtan tag tomorrow. Lisod gamiton, ma'am, ang kay alphabetical. Ayan. So sige. We'll answer your questions in a while, no? I'll just finish this. So the clean up, you'll just kanang copy paste everything here katong mga bata na kani sila dili naman wala sa manilabot, so ato na siyang pang delete later. And then ang form is the same. You will just have to kanang answer all of the parts na ay green. No, katong OPT Form 1A na nag-summarize ato ang mga kanang kuan, mga data nato, you will also be given a list no of the malnourished children. Ang ato ang malnourished kay kuan man severely stunted. So there, mugawas po siya there. And I hope na kani na list magamit ninyo to identify kuan. Ayan, nakita na ba ninyo? Ayan siya. I hope na kani na list you can use to identify no ang katong mga beneficiaries nato or kanang mga priority nato ng mga bata for kuan for interventions nato. Okay, so let's go to questions. Sige. Asa ko mo medyo daghan yung questions. Kanus man ang nag-distribute anang adult MUAC. Naanay distribution, it depends on the province or kung kanusa siya na-distribute. But most of them were distributed last month pa nag-start. Dili mo error if mag-copy paste ni ma'am kasi previous versions mo if you copy paste, you should copy paste na kanang kuan. For example, from the previous version no, from the previous version you copy from there, and then when you paste na like this, what do you call this? Kanang pag nag-paste mo kay paste as values. Paste as values, yeah. But you have to copy up to date of birth lang. Ang date of measuring, dili na nato na i-copy kay bag-o man na siya. So that's the second question. I hope that answers the question. Please let us know if maka-encounter gihapon mo problems no with this new tool. Question daw if BNS nag-encode sa lain date format like year. Kung lahi-lahi. So example, nag-encode sila from a different computer tapos ibalhin sa office na lahi na pod ang kanang date, dili lang siya mo affect. No, dili siya mo affect pag nagkanang consolidate kay mo ilis man ang kanang kuan. Once ang operation system sa imong computer kanang i-copy man na siya sa kanang kuan mo follow sa format ang kanang Excel ana di ay sayo pa nga kung pagka kuan dato ang English dato da. Sige. Sunod, Compostela from Compostela RHU, lisod gamiton ang BNS printout ma'am kay gi-alphabetical not by purok. Okay, so there. This is a really good question and I actually asked this the last time kanang kuan man pod ni gi-orient man pod ni. What the tool developer says, it would be better no if you do it per bisag kanang per purok bitaw siya. Kay it would be easier. Kay di ba per purok have BHWs man pod helping. So at least ba kanang mas maayo siya na you could use this tool instead of using it per barangay, it would be better to use it per purok na lang. So para sa usa ka purok na alphabetical na siya, tapos you will use the large kanang kuan na lang katong consolidation na kuan na tool to consolidate all of the different puroks. That way, you will also be able to see no kung unsa na purok ang pinaka naitaas na malnutrition rate, unsa na purok ang priority, and mas madali nimo o kanang pang-divide sa inyong mga kanang BNSs and mga BHWs kung daghang assigned sa pagtimbang and pag-follow up weighing. Okay, next question. So sa next question nato, si Doc Desa nangutana, available na version sa OPT. As of this week, dili pa siya available, but we really hope that next week ma-available na siya kay maunay gisaad sa amua sa national na kanang kuan na team. We will keep you posted kay murag January pa miniingon no, pero hantod karon wala pa kay daghan lagi comments pa for this. No, so pero if naapa mo yung mga lain na kanang mga ganahan or mga kanang ganahan na kanang ma-include unta sa OPT tool, mas maayo please comment those pod kanang if naa mo yung mga recommendations for it so that we could feedback sa ato ang naghimo ani na kanang tool no. Yan. Si Ma'am Emma, is this record the OPT available in the respective barangay or health center for the MELP Pro evaluation? Ayan, si Ma'am Emma kay excited na, hapit na po ng MELP Pro, medyo na-touch yun na to ang kanang MELP no. So kuan, we hope that we could find documents of this for the evaluations, upcoming evaluations this kanang kuan, this April and May. So kana siya ang atong makita. Are there any other questions? Let's check pod from our YouTube na kanang kuan, naka kuan. Ay, ang ask lang nila is ang mga nakadawat ba or wala sa miwak. So medyo miwak ang ato ang kanang kuan karon no. Yes, for those again na wala pa nakadawat og miwak, just let us know, let the secretariat know by giving us a chat there sa ubos para mas kanang kuan ma-note na mo and then ma-check na mo kung asa. Ayaw. Ayan, ang Argao pod na rami adult miwak tape. Okay. Si Ma'am okay, si Ma'am Emma na ay question directed to Ma'am Joel. Murag antay ato na question si Ma'am. Sige, so anyway, I'll ask Ma'am Emma's kanang question for Ma'am Joel in a while, but I'd like to kanang ask lang sa inyo ha if you have any more questions regarding the EOPT Plus tool. Para pod ma final bason dili mo katulog unya ako pa inyong kanang kuan mabasol. No? Bason damguhon mo UPT dira. No, mapareho mo ni mambili sa una sa bugo na ma-high blood jud every time mag-UPT. So hopefully dili man sad na. Kana. Let's go. So if you don't have questions yet or if you have other unsay formula. Target. Yan. Sige, for targets, we have this is why we have kanang kuan. This is why we are providing you with a population na dili na mo kailangan think of targets kay mugawas na ni siya on its own there. Once you identify or kanang municipality, barangay, province, municipality, city or barangay. No, kay kanang kuan naman lahi na ba tag mga unsa na mga formula na a target multiplier na gigamit, di ba, per province. So mauna siya na ang national na lang na kanang nag-develop sa tool ang maghimo ana mo pud ning medyo dugay ta. But you don't have to think about that lang. It will come out na lang sa inyo ha. So once mabutang na ninyo, no? Once mabutang na ninyo like that, mugawas na lang siya sa inyong here's a summary. There. So if kamantay mo, nigawas na dayon ang population sa barangay, estimated population. Can you see the slide? It's very small. I'm sorry. Yan. So there. Once you have identified na, dito ta ni answer, di ba? Here, they will identify it for you right away. So inana na lang ang kanang mahitabo sa mo identify na ang estimated population right away as soon as you have identified the the province, municipality in the barangay. Okay, so other things sa barangay man na targets. What if purok ang encode? Ang purok kanang kuan siya. Kung purok ang encode na to, dili lang wala grabe ra pud na Sir Dave oy kung purok pa jud ta na kuan na targeting pero barangay targets lang jud ang as of karon no. So kana kani lang siya i-divide na lang nila ang kanang kuan ang gamiton nato. I-divide ka, I think most of the time kay barangay level man pod ang kanang estimation ang pagkuha sa estimated na population. So kana lang pod divide lang pod nato. So hopefully lang pod maka-help ang mga midwives nato and mga kanang PHN sa pag-identify na pod per purok. Kay murag kinit kung nadugay gani may og release na per barangay pa lang per purok baso next year pa nimo gawas. Ayan. So next na question nato ang among gamit sa pilar kay ang regular EOPT na wala ni nagamit sa katong naayok. Okay. Yes, if you're using the katong EOPT na kanang regular, if you're not using the katong acute na EOPT tool, that's okay, that's great. That means na safe ang inyong community. Kanang kuan, we will just have to wait for the katong kanina tool to be released no by the NT na katong sa national na katong nag-develop sa tool. Next week kay really next week man to ilang giingon sa mo kung March mag-order siya. Okay? So that's kanang for the EOPT. Okay, na question ang YouTube. Ay, na question sa YouTube. Isod ni mag-YouTuber po di ay no. Sige. Question from YouTube. Ma'am, ang katong gisend nga OPT pag January 2021 through email, dili pa to mo gamiton? No, dili pa siya. We have updates for the OPT, no? As I've said, it hasn't been published yet. So, but if gigamit to ninyo to encode, okay lang. Ikapi-paste lang ninyo ang inyong mga entries there to the new tool and it won't really change anything. So, kana siya. Sige, okay na ta. Before we move on to Miss Camille's presentation sa atong Nutrition Month, I really hope that I have answered your questions. If naa pa mo'y kaguol and everything or wala pa kaayo na clear sa atong mga mind, dili pa mo katulog unya, pwede ra jud kaayo mo chat sa amo ang Facebook page para answer ta mo isa-isa para mas dali pod kung naamoy mga specific na mga parts, no, mas may screenshot jud na ninyo para mas ma-visualize na to. Okay, before we move on to Miss Camille's part, let's go back to kanang Ma'am Emma Gaviola's question. Ma'am Joel, Ma'am Juliet, are you still there? Murag wala pa si Ma'am Joel. So Ma'am Em,
Yes,
i-park lang
ma'am.
sa nanat. Ay, na si Ma'am
Yes,
Joel.
ma'am.
Okay, Ma'am Joel. Na-question si Ma'am Emma. Exam. Trust me. Kuan. Nice, several questions si Ma'am Emma. I think hopefully para pod maka-answer ang uban. Sige. So first, Ma'am, who will look into the LGUs who failed to advocate or provide logistic support? Ay, Ma'am M. Kinsa kuno ang kanang kuan? Kinsa daw ang mag-ask atong mga LGUs betaw or kinsay who will look into the LGUs who failed to advocate or provide logistic supports in RA 11148. Ayan, kinsay maningil, ma'am, para sa RA 11148.
Kinsay maningil?
Oh, maningil, ma'am,
Kinsay
sa ilang
maningil sa LGU? Or maningil sa LGU?
Oo. Mao ka ng first na question. Itong mga LGU wala ka-advocate, ma'am ba? Or wala yung logistic support?
Wala yung logistic support in terms of RA 1148? O pasabot?
Oo, ma'am. Unsa daw ang kanang kuan? Tapos na pa yung second question, ma'am ha. Second question kay if the MMS is about to expire, na mo expire ang MMS, and naghan pa ang nabilin na stocks available, can we give it out to other vulnerable groups rather than throw it away? So if na pa daw nabilin na MMS, Mama Joel, hapit na mo expire, pwede ba daw ihatag sa uban na dili pregnant pero vulnerable group gihapon?
Pregnant siya. Di man siya manimok for pregnancy. Pwede siya sa lactating.
Okay, so
pero
pwede po siya.
Pero ang mo niya, pwede naman good siya i-distribute karon. I-situate ba nga kana ganing nga ang mga kuan siya di siya maabtan o expiry. Pwede siya nimo i-expand, madaghan imong matagaan. Dili lang siya we're supposed to be ato giragit to one usa ka pasyente, usa ta kita to ka bottle, pero impossible naman siya nga makuha niya ang 180 maabtan na siya. I-distribute na lang siya sa among the pregnant or the part of lactating.
Okay. Pregnant and lactating.
It's kuan na lang pero actually it's for pregnant lagid unta ma'am for pregnant women.
Okay.
Kaya naka-specify man na dito sa katong inaanggi sa katong gipanghatag nila nga ang brand is Angel na multivitamins. Oo.
Okay. Nada specification. Nada specific nga kuan recipient.
For pregnant. Oo siya, for pregnancy yan. Nakasuwat din siya for prenatal. for prenatal.
Okay, so murag
Actually,
dili na to kanang kuanan kaayo no? Murag
Dili
nawala si
mahatag
Ma'am
sa
Jewel and
uban.
si Ma'am Emma or kami ba ang nawala?
Kay niadto kung una ang katong-atong uban nga klase nga
Ako ba ang
kanang
nawala?
panghatag nato sa malnourished children, if
Wala.
mo kuana dili na pwede ihatag kay daghan ra kaayo unya ma-expire lang, we will give it to other vulnerable
children,
groups.
vulnerable groups, like
Other
for example,
vulnerable
for
groups.
vitamin A.
Oo.
So, actually intended unta gid siya for undernourished nato nga mga pregnant women. No? So, di siya pwede ihatag sa kanang, kay naka-specify man siya dito man for prenatal. So, multivitamin C for prenatal. Actually, wala mang good ta nakapanghatag yun, ana. So, it's the kuan ang nanghatag, ana, ni go direct to the RHUs without knowledge sa province or diri sa mo sa region. So na-inform lang so happen lang usa ka LGU nangutana o na nangut so happen lang nga nangutana ang usa ka LGU regarding ana unsay buhaton nila. So nagtuo man gud sila at first that is vitamin A siya because of the brand nga Angel. Pero actually it's a multivitamin for pregnant.
Okay. Okay. I have not seen that.
Oo, wala man ta ana
question.
nang hatag gid siya actually.
Wa
So
man,
it's
oh.
feed the children. Oo, ni go direct
Okay.
to the RHU. Wala siya niagi sa Cebu sa province, wala siya niagi sa region. So actually walay coordination nga nahitabo. Tabang
Okay.
amo na lang na siya di pangutana. Ang sabi
Okay,
tayo
thank
na
you,
pangutana ma'am. Katong kinsay maningil.
okay.
Kinsay maningil.
Bahin ba
Kinsay
ni Ana?
ma-attended.
Okay, mao ni akong explanation ba for those LGU, except those LGU who are very accommodating and who releases budget intended for this program. And for those LGU who have other important nga i-spend ang ilang money other than
lain na lang priority.
priority nila is kinsa may maningil, especially nga kung ang ma-result in the future, we have plenty or that certain municipality or city na mudaghan ang ilang mga stunting because some of them
Di man ka madungog na ma'am. Hello?
Hello? Nawa.
Okay,
Nawa
murag
ako.
naglisod sila ka ng dungog. Sige, sige.
Municipalities
So,
municipalities.
well, nagkanang
Hello,
kuan.
ma'am. Hello. Hello, ma'am.
Nana si Ma'am
For
Jewel.
the municipal.
Nawala si Ma'am
Okay.
Emma.
Kasi ma'am Ima na siya nawa. So actually ma'am, for technically ang kanang mga
sige, ma'am.
municipalities o mga component cities, handle man na sila gyud sa province. So ang kuan nila, so it's the province who will kuan sa ilaha, no? Kung kuan sa ilaha, kung implement ba or ana kay technically under man sila na for the highly urbanized and the province, ang regional office man ana sad, no? Kung nakakuan ba sila o plan ina part sa katong universal healthcare ba.
Okay. So I thought
Same lang gid ang iyahang kuan ma'am, ang iyahang mura og when in terms to technical assistance or maningil or whatever say term ana, it's for
I thought the DILG will look into this problem for those LGU who are not supportive to the program. Mabitaw nang naay-gibutang.
Pwede sa sila. Oo, multi-sectoral siya. Kaya sila may murag naagi kuan sa
to sila sa
LGU.
ibabaw. Oo. Mao na nga ang kuwang lang gyud nato is ang support coming from the DILG, which is ang city is under their supervision. Mao na nga ang uban is muralag dili kaayo committed to provide logistic support for this program, except for those LGUs nga muhatag yun. I will not mention.
Lagi sa live na.
Ako an ba lang makita lang nato ba
Sige,
kung
sige. So, noted na to.
Oh,
Yes.
that's all, ma'am.
Yes,
Thank
yes.
you
Okay,
very
so to
much.
answer that,
Yeah,
yes,
thank
ma'am.
you.
Thank you, ma'am. To answer that, kanang kuan, si Ma'am M, actually that is part of the katong PIPA na memorandum sa DILG Joint Memorandum Circular. DILG and NNC, so included naman po na to siya. Pero dili lang ang katong full jud na nutrition program ang na-add dito. Di ba, Ma'am Jewel? So with
Okay.
that,
Actually, it's
na ay
kuan sad
mga
siya sa
nangayo o
universal
kanang attendance.
healthcare.
So, oo. Yes, appeal po siya sa universal healthcare. And kanang kung kinsa jud ang make sure na na-implement
Rates,
ang kanina
NEC.
mga
So based on the
programs.
ARPAN.
Yes. Yes. It's actually very multisectoral. So whoever is in the nutrition committee is kanang kuan jud to check, no? So kana ang atong answer for Ma'am MS question. So nag-ask sila sa kanang kuan sa attendance. So the secretariat will share with you again the attendance, no? And then we move on to Miss Camille's kanang presentation of the Nutrition Month team for this year. And then after that, we'll answer the rest of the other questions po later para makatulog tang tanan karong gabi. Okay? So Miss Camille, can you start sharing na? Ayan, Miss Camille?
Okay, thank you, Ma'am Nas, and good afternoon sa tanan. And I will be sharing with you lang no an overview sa ato ang 47th Nutrition Month celebration. Okay, so this week lang nigawas na gyud no ang ato ang official Nutrition Month theme. So mao ni siya ang malnutrition patuloy na labanan first 1,000 days tutukan no. So kani siya na nutrition month theme. This is already posted sa ato ang Facebook page, no? So, nutrition month official theme, mao jud ni siya no nag-focus gihapon sa importance of the first 1,000 days of life of a child. Okay, no? And next, so ang objectives niini ato ang 47th Nutrition Month celebration is una, atong i-increase no ang knowledge by 50% of the population on the importance of first 1,000 days. And ato pong improve no ang breastfeeding and complementary feeding practices. So from 55.2% sa breastfeeding ato siyang i-improve by 60% by the end of 2021, while ang complementary feeding practices from 18.6% improve by 23% no by the end of 2021. And last is atong i-generate no ang concrete commitment no sa ato ang mga local policy makers as well as ang mga membro no sa ato ang local nutrition committees para mo suporta sa ato ang first 1,000 days program. So mao ni sila ang ato ang mga target audience no. So kani ato mga mabdos na mga mama o mga mothers in general, and of course natin mga caregivers and family members. Sunod ato ang mga policy makers no sa local government unit, sa ato ang mga local governments, and then mga healthcare workers and other nutrition service providers, ato ang mga NGO, civil society, and other private sectors, and as well as the general public, no? So we also encourage ato ang mga local government units sa inyuhang pag-implement og mga activities sa inyuhang LGU no sa ato ang Nutrition Month celebration, no? So atong gi-encourage na kini pod na mga target audience no ang mo participate, mo join sad sa inyuhang mga activities. So natin nagkalain-lain ng mga activities sa atong Nutrition Month, starting sa pre-launching up to the sustaining activities and as well as the culminating activities. So una natong mga activities sa pre-launching, we had collaborative meeting. So nagsugod na niya to mga meetings since January sa ato ang Nutrition Month celebration, and mag-continue ra gihapon na no hangtod mag-nutrition month na no na celebration. And then mobilization of local nutrition committees no. So replication sa LGU no na mag meeting mo sa inyong mga local nutrition committees, and we encourage na mag-agenda mo sa Nutrition Month celebration since nigawas naman ang atong official theme. So by that time na mag-meeting mo, makahatag na jud mo or maka-brainstorm mo og mga activities na inyong ipang himuon ini ka Nutrition Month celebration. Next is naapod tay sales conference no, ato ang gina-focus ani sa sales con ato ang mga barangay nutrition action officers, midwives, no, uban ng mga healthcare workers, and then we also have press conference no sa ato ang Nutrition Month celebration. Kini siya ng mga activities. This will be done also virtually no, so dili jud ta mabalaka kay tanan ining mga activities ma-post gihapon siya sa ato ang Facebook page. And then for our launching activities, no, ato ang Regional Virtual Nutrition Month launching. So inika July 1, 2021. So we will be having recorded messages no sa ato ang mga select na mga local chief executives sa Central Visayas no na ni-support jud sila sa first 1,000 days. Sunod na puti activity na done in partnership sa upat nato ka provincial nutrition committees wherein mag-share sila no sa mga documentary videos sa ilahang na-chosen na first 1,000 days stages. And then next, kay aduna pud tay lecture on the proper complementary feeding starting no sa 6 month of a growing child. Sunod is diri pud nato i-kick off no ang ato ang first 1,000 days TikTok challenge no. So on the launching days ato ang Nutrition Month celebration, so diha ra pud namo i-kick off ang ato ang TikTok challenge no. So tanan na mechanics and all no, so isulti ra na inig ka Nutrition Month launching. And then for the sustaining activities, ubay-ubay sa taog sustaining activities diri no. So naagi hapon ang hanging of streamers. So ang tanan niini ato ang mga streamers no, ang mga soft copy for the tarts kay isend gihapon namo once available na. So if nahatag na sa from central office, so amo na dayon nang i-forward dito sa tanan ng mga LGUs and other networks. And then also napaghapon ang dissemination sa atong 2021 Nutrition Month Prayer and Pledge. And naasad tay activity no, usa sa atong sustaining activity is the virtual Idol Ko Si Nanay Nutrition School on Air. And then dili pud jud na mawala ang ato ang quad media advocacies no, ato ang Nutrition Month celebration na jud na ang ato ang mga quad media advocacies no para ma-share nato ang ato ang Nutrition Month celebration. And we also have our virtual thematic seminars no, so naiuban ng mga agencies and other LGUs na mo invite no, so ato sad nang tagaan o kana chance no na maka-share ta sa ato ang Nutrition Month celebration. So usa po sa atong sustaining activity is aduna tay AGIU 7 virtual media assembly. So kani sila mga information officers, and we also have our iHisgot. Mo ni siya atong activity monthly no na we started this year. So aside from the Nutrition Month launching, we will also have no atong iHisgot for the Nutrition Month celebration. And then for the culminating activity, so naagi hapon no ang ato ang Grand Nutrition Awards. So back to back gihapon, same sa mga previous years except lang last year kay wala na to siya na back to back, but from the previous years, so back to back jud ni siya no ato ang virtual na Regional Nutrition Action Officers Congress and ato ang 2021 Grand Nutrition Awards no. So katutanan ng mga awards na gipang mention ganina from sa MELP Pro no. So ato sa to siyang makita no atong tagaan og mga awards ang ato ang mga local government units. Okay, so action requested from the LGUs no, so ubay jud daw action requested. So una, LGUs to conduct meetings no sa inyong tagsa-tagsa na local nutrition committees with the Nutrition Month as one of the main agenda. And then inyong i-plan and then implement activities aligned with the theme. Ikaduha, no, na mag-target sa mga pregnant women, family caregivers, and mga local policymakers sa ato ang mga 2021 Nutrition Month LGU activities. Sunod is mag-join and participate gihapon no sa ato ang regional online activities. And the LGUs no mag-submit gihapon tano sa ato ang 2021 Nutrition Month reports with photo preferably in soft copy no. So dito gyapon sa atong email is send. Next is hanging of streamers. hanging of this is the suggested activities no sa ato ang mga local government units no. So una is hanging of official nutrition month streamer or banner in front of the offices or other strategic occasions, and atong i-upload no ang theme in the LG website or other social media accounts. Sunod is mag-disseminate no sa ato ang 2021 Nutrition Month prayer and pledge. Ikatulo is produce information materials no about LGU's F1KD program and services. And lastly is online advocacy no. So ang LGUs can showcase ang inyong mga online activities using a hashtag which ang National Nutrition Council Region 7 will release in June no. So ini ka June mag-release ta sa ato ang official hashtag na atong gamiton for the Nutrition Month celebration no. So you can use the Nutrition Month Facebook profile frame which will be released as well in June no. So nakabantay man ta ato kato gani ato ang profile picture na naay na siya frame no. So pwede jud na nato gamiton atong i-promote sad no ang Nutrition Month. Okay, so I think that would be all sa ako ang sharing sa Nutrition Month celebration. If you have any questions, no, so feel free lang to email and or call ato ang landline na nako under sa screen. So that would be all. Back to you, Ma'am Nas.
Ayan, thank you Miss Camille no. So atong ibalik gamay Miss Camille ang kanang slide na to back sa katong kuan katong details, contact details na to kay murag nagpicture sila. Sige. So ayun, so that was the end of the kanang kuan, the topics, all of the topics. We had a lot, and I really hope that you're still hanging in there right now, no? So, and I really hope pod na daghan mong nakuha from this kanang afternoon's orientation. There are a lot of kanang questions sa atong chat, so let me go through these first before we could really kanang kuan and everything. So na nag-ask no ganiha na nag-ask if ang ilang OPT ba daw is up to 71 months, Kerira. Kerira ba daw? Yes, Keri lang. This tool, the new tool will kanang kuan man, will give you man a segregation bitaw sa data sa kanang kuan OPT kanang coverage ninyo per month. And then naa siya report na 0 to 23, naa siya report na 0 to 59 and so on. So magamit lang pud ninyo ang kato na data. I think kay naghan ang nagtimbang up to 71 months kay walay school. So I think mao na siya ang reason nila. Other people are asking for attendance. That the link to the attendance has already been shared by the secretariat. It's in the comment box. It is one person per kanang kuano per attendance there. So kung daghan mo na kanang together na nag-watch this na kanang activity, pwede mo isa-isa lang na mo answer ato na kanang link. It's also an evaluation form, by the way. So ni ask pud ang Tubigon from Tubigon MNC Tubigon, they would like to clarify if duha na ka-OPT ang amo isubmit sa province. Ayan. So kanang I think na po yung mga people na inani ang kanang gi-ask no. So no, dili duha ang OPT na atong isubmit, mopili lang o katong acute ba ang gigamit ninyo, ang need ninyo na gamiton sa inyong area or ang regular na OPT. No, kana siya. Again, acute ang gamiton na acute EOPT ang atong gamiton if kanang taas ang atong cases and maglisod ta og kanang adto didto sa mga areas para mag close na mga contact for height and weight taking. We could use the regular OPT tool if dili lang kaayo mo pose as threat ang ato ang pagkuha og nutritional status. Ayan. Another question. Ayan, attendance. No? So naapoy ni ask kaniha. Mga yung PowerPoint. Okay, so the secretariat will be sending a link no for this kanang presentation, and this presentation is also recorded, so we will also be sharing with you a link to the recording. So tanan-tanan na mga discussion kung sige mo kaputol-putol and you want to go back to it, you could actually rewatch the video sa YouTube na to, and we will just also share with you the link. No? So, unsa pa'y naadara? Maayo unta. Recorded ba? Attendance? Dagan jud ang nangitag attendance. Ayan, may nagpa-ask. Ma'am, kato ang revised nga EOPT acute malnutrition pag Feb 14, mauna to ang new OPT ba ang atong ask na ani? No, this is not the regular new updated OPT tool. The katong nigawas atong February na 2021 na tool would be the tool for acute malnutrition, which is going to be used again if your area is in ECQ or MECQ. MECQ. So kana. If there are other questions, if wala pa kayo questions or later pa ninyo maisipan ang inyong mga questions or baso na apo ko yung mga na-miss na mga questions, the secretariat will look through. So that means ako will look through all of the different kanang kuan mga chat later, and then I will try to answer your questions papad later. So again, the attendance and the evaluation links are the same. You could answer it, but isa-isa na siya na answeran. And then please do like our page, no? The page is in there, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You are invited to watch pod. Ihisgot. Miss Camille has already kanang kuan mentioned it ganiha. We have Ihisgot na episodes per month, and this month we will be celebrating women. So for next week, no, on the 18th, so we're inviting all of you to watch. 1 hour lang na siya. But you will have a lot of insights on kanang nutrition for women. And again, the slides will be shared as well as the recording through kanang your emails. We will be sending you the link pod later. Link to the katong YouTube na file later. And that's it. We thank you for coming to see us today. We really hope that you learned a lot. And I'm not sure if Ma'am Latlat is still here. Ma'am Lat, are you still here? She's not na. So anyway, ayan, a lot of you are also
Yes,
asking
Kamaginas, to.
Ayan, Ma'am Lat is here. Kanang kuan, Ma'am Lat, we're ending the kanang activity na, and we're really happy to see a lot of the kanang participants. We have 81 participants in the YouTube room and 40 plus, more 45 to ganiha sa YouTube na to na nag-watch live. So daghan jud kayo tag kanang participants, Ma'am Lat. Any kanang kuan parting words before we end the program, Ma'am Lat?
Yeah, okay. Siguro my parting words is for, of course, on behalf of the National Nutrition Council. Thank you very much for sharing your afternoon with us. I know we have so many challenges ahead of us. However, this is part of our regular activity. Remember that M&E is crucial in managing our nutrition program, because we will see it as an opportunity to learn further and of course celebrate the successes that we have, whatever or how big or how small it is, because that is the result of our efforts. No, so thank you so much for joining, and we will see you soon, no, in your respective LGUs. But probably for others, if they still have some concerns, of course, our office is very much open for your questions and concerns. And if you want to have a provincial level orientation, so just coordinate with your district or provincial nutrition action officer or district nutrition program coordinators if that's necessary, so we can we can also send representatives to help the provincial level further disseminate the MELPI Pro to its constituent LGUs. So with that, thank you so much, and again, have a blessed Lent ahead of us. Good afternoon. Over to you, Ms. Nas.
Thank you kayo, Ma'am Let. So before ending na jud, kailangan na jud tag kanang pruweba na nakita ka karon. So we'd like to ask everybody to please turn on their cameras, and we'll